Hey, Warriors fans, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into some of the latest buzz surrounding the team, and trust me, there's a lot to unpack. First off, let's talk about a rumor that has caught my eye recently, involving none other than Walker Kessler. Now, I've mentioned Kessler before over the summer as a potential trade piece for Jonathan Kuminga, but at the time, nothing really materialized. The chatter was that he might be part of a bigger deal, possibly involving draft picks or other players, but ultimately, it never came together. The Jazz, as it seems, are committed to keeping Kessler for now, at least until something shifts. But here's the interesting twist. After the Jazz announced that they had no intention of signing Kessler to a rookie-scale contract extension, it immediately made me think that he could be on the trade block. And now, rumors are swirling about a potential deal where the Warriors could land Kessler in exchange for Quentin Post and maybe a filler contract like Santos or Jackson Davis. Honestly, I think this makes a lot of sense. Think of it like a trade similar to what Allen Iverson experienced early in his career, where move early in the season shakes things up for both teams. For the Warriors, this could be that kind of strategic maneuver. Pods has shown he can step up and contribute, but the Warriors' backcourt is crowded. You've got Will Richardson, Buddy Hield, Gary Payton, eventually Seth Curry, Pat Spencer, Moses Moody. The list goes on. It's a lot of pieces vying for minutes, and adding a player like Kessler could create both flexibility and the kind of defensive presence the Warriors have been missing since Andrew Bogut. Kessler isn't just a rim protector. He's physical enough to match up with the likes of Jokic, Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, Joel Embiid, and other dominant bigs. That kind of length and physicality is exactly what the Warriors need, especially against teams that rely on size and strength. Another factor to consider is the restricted free agent situation. Kessler may or may not resign long-term, but even a short-term move could solve immediate problems for Golden State. Meanwhile, the Jazz have reasons to move on. They have Kyle Filipowski, who is on a better contract with more years of control, and it's clear they're prioritizing their long-term strategy. So from both sides, this trade could make sense. For the Warriors, acting quickly is key because adding Kessler could immediately alleviate Draymond's defensive burden and allow him to slide to power forward, letting Kessler handle the bigger centers. If you break it down, Kessler could easily put up 8 points and 8 rebounds per game, but more importantly, he would be contesting against players his size, something Draymond sometimes struggles with. This kind of move would not just fill a gap. It could redefine the Warriors' lineup flexibility and help them compete against bigger teams like the Nuggets. Right now, size is a concern, and it has the potential to hurt them if it isn't addressed quickly. Draymond has energy and has shown he can dominate certain matchups, but he can't do it alone every night, especially against teams with multiple big men. Now, looking at Jonathan Kuminga, his performance against the Lakers was exactly what fans have been hoping to see. 17 points, 4 for 6 from 3, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. That's the Kuminga who can be a core piece of the team. His performance is earning him a permanent spot in the starting lineup and could cement him as part of the Warriors' next generation after Steph, Draymond, and Klay eventually step away. The potential here is huge. He's showing that he can be an X factor on both ends of the floor, capable of changing the dynamics of the game when he's hot. The current rotation has Steph, Pods, Jimmy, Kuminga, and Draymond starting, with Al Horford coming off the bench. Ideally, if Kessler is added, you could see a lineup of Steph, Jimmy, Kuminga, Draymond, and Horford with flexible rotation options that can handle 7-footers and physical forwards effectively. If the Warriors don't bring in someone like Kessler, they're going to need creative rotations to handle size mismatches. The Nuggets, Rockets, and other teams with long lineups are going to test the Warriors' limits in this regard. The Rockets' opening night game showcased how much of a challenge length and size can pose. With Amen Thompson at 1, Kevin Durant at 2, Jabari Smith Jr. at 3, Alperen Sengun at 4, and Steven Adams at 5, the Warriors' small ball strategy is immediately going to be tested. No matter how many threes they can make, you can't simply ignore the physical presence of these lineups. Golden State must find ways to adapt if they want to maintain consistency and win games against these bigger, stronger squads. One bright spot, though, has been watching the Warriors adjust dynamically. Despite their size disadvantage, they still have the ability to get off to fast starts and control momentum for long stretches. The Lakers game is a perfect example. Even when the score tightened, the Warriors never really felt threatened. Maintaining that kind of control against teams like the Nuggets will be key. If they can replicate it, they could start the season 2-0, maybe stringing together a 7 to 10 game winning streak and solidify themselves as a top seed. On a lighter note, one thing that caught my attention recently was the halftime segment featuring Michael Jordan. While I initially expected a detailed breakdown similar to what we saw with Kobe Bryant's X's and O's style, it turned out to be more of an interview-style pre-recorded segment. Still, what stood out was Jordan's evident itch to play. Watching him talk about competition and seeing that spark reignite is fascinating. At 62, he clearly still loves the game, and his presence in these segments brings a unique energy. Even if he doesn't hit the court in a traditional NBA sense, the insight and stories he shares are incredibly engaging, and I can't wait to see more of these moments in future broadcasts. Now, back to the hardwood. The real test for the Warriors' small ball lineup is coming up against the Nuggets. This is where all the questions about size, length, and defensive matchups will get answered. The Nuggets are built for physicality, and Jokic alone presents a nightmare scenario for any lineup lacking a true rim protector. Pair him with Aaron Gordon at power forward, and you've got a versatile forward who can switch, crash the boards, and defend multiple positions. Matching up with these kinds of players is going to test Golden State's limits, especially with Jonathan Kuminga still developing as a core piece. Kuminga's versatility is a huge asset, but he's still young, and playing against big, physical forwards like Gordon will challenge him in ways the Lakers didn't. Then you add Cam Johnson and other forwards who can hit from distance while guarding multiple positions, and the matchup complexity increases exponentially. Steph Curry and the guard can handle their own side of the court, but when the ball goes into the paint or faces lengthier wings and centers, the Warriors' small ball rotations are going to be under a microscope. This is exactly where someone like Kessler could shift the balance. His ability to contest shots, clean the glass, and provide interior physicality would relieve some pressure from Draymond and allow the team to maintain spacing and offensive flow without sacrificing defensive stability. Offensively, the Warriors still have their identity intact. The pick-and-roll game, floor spacing, and movement without the ball remain their strengths. But as we saw last season, spacing only goes so far when the other team has the size and athleticism to dominate the boards and disrupt rhythm around the rim. Bringing in a player like Kessler wouldn't just be about points and rebounds. It would be about giving the team a physical presence that can anchor defensive rotations and make opponents think twice about attacking the paint. Even in transition, having a bigger body to run the floor or contest early shots can change the way opposing teams approach the game. Looking deeper into rotations, if Kessler joins, we could see Draymond more consistently at the 4, Horford in a flexible bench role, and Kuminga continuing to develop as the versatile wing we've been hoping for. Jimmy and Steph would remain the primary scorers, but the ability to mix in Kessler or Post at critical minutes could create matchup advantages that weren't previously possible. The Warriors have always excelled at exploiting mismatches, and adding a player who can immediately alter the dynamics inside could make them even more dangerous. It's also worth noting how much the team relies on momentum. The Warriors are built to get into rhythm quickly, whether that's through fast breaks, sharp ball movement, or hitting shots and streaks. That energy can carry them against almost anyone, but when facing teams with length and athleticism like the Nuggets or Rockets, maintaining that momentum becomes harder. A single bad defensive possession against a bigger lineup can swing the momentum in a game where points and rebounds matter just as much as strategy. That's why depth and smart rotations are so crucial. Each player must understand when to switch, when to protect the rim, and when to collapse and help defense. Without that, even an explosive start could be neutralized quickly by a team with size advantages. Switching gears, the storyline with Michael Jordan in those halftime segments adds a completely different flavor to watching basketball right now. Even if it's a pre-recorded segment and not live coaching, his presence and commentary bring something special. Watching a legend reflect on the game, share personal stories, and even show that competitive itch decades later reminds us why basketball is about more than just numbers. There's strategy, intuition, and heart in every possession, and Jordan's insights help highlight that in ways we don't always get to see in real-time play analysis. It's entertaining, insightful, and adds a layer of excitement during nationally televised games. Even if he's not back on the court himself, just watching him break down plays and offer opinions keeps the connection to basketball history alive while providing context for what the Warriors are facing now. As we look toward this season, the narrative becomes clear. Golden State must address size without sacrificing the pace and space they've built their identity around. Adding someone like Walker Kessler or another interior presence isn't just a luxury. It could be a critical step toward maintaining championship contention. The current rotation works well against certain teams, but when you match up against squads designed to dominate the paint and exploit size mismatches, the Warriors need more tools. It's not just about scoring. It's about controlling rebounds, defending the rim, and being able to switch effectively without giving up easy points. That's where trades and smart roster adjustments come into play. The Warriors also have a remarkable opportunity with Jonathan Kuminga. His recent performances indicate that he's ready to be a key piece of the puzzle. If he continues to improve, he not only contributes offensively, but also provides the kind of defensive versatility that helps cover for size disadvantages. Steph and Jimmy can carry scoring loads, Draymond can orchestrate and protect the paint, and adding depth in the frontcourt allows for rotations that can handle any challenge the season throws at them. This combination of youth, experience, and strategic additions could define the Warriors' success in the upcoming stretch of the season. Ultimately, the early games, starting with the Nuggets matchup, will serve as a litmus test for Golden State's approach this season. Small ball has served them well in the past, but every era has its challenges. The Warriors must adapt, rotate wisely, and consider trades that enhance size and defensive presence. If they can do this while maintaining their signature pace and scoring efficiency, they'll be a formidable team once again. But if the matchups expose gaps, quick adjustments will be necessary to keep them competitive in a tough Western Conference. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. In what could be the NBA's blockbuster shakeup of the season, whispers have been circulating that Jaylen Brown, the electrifying forward who has become synonymous with Boston Celtics excellence, is allegedly packing his bags for the Golden State Warriors. While nothing has been officially confirmed, sources close to the matter suggest that the Celtics star might be bidding farewell to the city of Boston, leaving fans and analysts alike in a state of utter disbelief. Brown, 27, has been a cornerstone of the Celtics' recent success, consistently delivering clutch performances and exhibiting a scoring versatility few can match. Rumors suggest that the Warriors, always on the hunt for another dynamic wing to complement their already star-studded roster, may have extended an offer that's simply too enticing for the Celtics ace to ignore. If true, this move would instantly reshape the balance of power in the Western Conference, turning Golden State into an even more formidable championship contender. The NBA rumor mill is in overdrive. Social media feeds are ablaze with speculation, and fans are torn between excitement and heartbreak. Celtics supporters, in particular, are reportedly stunned by the mere possibility of losing a player whose development from talented rookie to bona fide superstar has been one of the franchise's bright spots over the past decade. Meanwhile, Warriors enthusiasts are envisioning Brown in a splashy blue and gold uniform, driving to the hoop alongside Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, potentially forming one of the most lethal trios in recent memory. Analysts are already debating the potential impact. Could Brown's departure leave a gaping hole in Boston's lineup, or might the Celtics leverage this to orchestrate an even bigger trade? And in Golden State, how would Brown's arrival change the team's offensive rhythm, defensive schemes, and championship odds? The possibilities are endless, and the intrigue is undeniable. As the offseason unfolds, one thing is certain. If these whispers prove true, the NBA landscape will never look the same. Jaylen Brown to the Warriors, a mere rumor today, a seismic shock tomorrow? The league, as always, keeps us on our toes. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.